Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com. And today we are going to be having some fun with watercoloring and superheroes. We're going to be making this adorable superhero card designed by my friend Veronica. And I'm going to shake it up just a little bit. I think you're really going to enjoy this. Let's get started. And here's our original card that Veronica made using the Everyday Hero stamp set. It is just flipping adorable. Absolutely love it. I'm going to even swap it up a little bit. Veronica used the brand new Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils, and since these are currently unavailable due to extreme popularity, I'm going to show you how to watercolor using these Stampin' Up! Ink pads instead. We'll come back to the watercolor pencils as soon as they come back in stock. There's a free PDF for this card on my blog. You can purchase everything I'm using today there, get the card measurements and all the details on this card and on this stamp set there as well. We're going to start with our stamping. Our superhero is like a build a superhero. There's a boy superhero and a girl superhero, and there's all kinds of cute little sayings that go along with it. And our little power beam here that we're going to turn into a rainbow. And we are going to build a little girl superhero today. Easily adapted if you're making this for a boy. I'm using the Stays On black ink pad. This is a permanent ink pad. It's going to help with the watercoloring. So I'm just going to ink up. There's 3 different stamps for the superhero. There's for body. And that could actually go for a boy too. All you have to do is swap out the little girl with ponytail for the little cute little boy with the mask. Or man. Then we'll put her head on there. And since these are Stampin' Up's photopolymer line, they are so easy to line up. You can just see right through where you're going to line that up. The cape I'm going to line up with her elbow and her face. Like so. And here is our stamped image. So cute, right? And so easy to build your own superhero. While we have the stamp set out, we'll continue our stamping and then we'll watercolor her after. So I'm taking a panel of Whisper White cardstock, and you will find the measurements on my blog. Same jet black ink pad. Gonna stamp the wow in black and the center towards the bottom. And then taking some smoky slate, and this is kind of like the wow outline. See how they have the wow and then the outline? This is a 2-stepper, so it's kind of like a shadow for the word. I'm gonna stamp that in smoky slate for the shadow. It's cool. It's like a little drop shadow effect, and it lines perfectly right up with the wow. Boom. It's awesome. And we'll take the words "You're incredible" and stamp them right underneath in black. I stamped that a little bit lower than I meant to. I don't know. What do you think? Should we go with it? You know what? I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. That's better. Okay, next up, we're going to stamp our rainbow of colors along the edge here. I used a little trick to do that. We're going to be using the Stitch Shapes dies here from Stampin' Up. We'll be using a circle die in just a second. I'm going to take the smallest of the circle stitch shapes just to help us out a little bit with our arc. I'm just going to take a pen and trace the inside. Now this is just a hair to the left. It's not exactly in the center. And then maybe just a little dot in the middle to help line up. And now we'll take our rainbow of ink pads. Okay, I've got 6 rainbow colors here. Real Red, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Cucumber Crush, Tempting Turquoise, Wisteria Wonder, and the Stampy Scrub pad along with the Stampy Mist, because we're going to be using the same stamp in all 6 of these colors. So I'm just spraying one side of the Stampy Scrub. This will make cleanup super easy. One side's wet, one side's dry. Even if you can't see it, it's there. And we'll take our power beam and we're going to create a rainbow with it. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I'm starting with the Wisteria Wonder. Going to ink that up. Kind of line it up with the dot I put in the center of the circle, but using the circle as an arc to go around. Then I'm just going to rub that in the wet and then the dry side of our Stampy Scrub and keep on going. Cheapest washer and dryer you will ever own. I'm just going up now with Tempting Turquoise. Probably want to put a scrap pad down underneath us. Let's go ahead and do that so we protect the workspace. And then we got Cucumber Crush, Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, and finish it off with real red. And here is our rainbow effect when we're done. Now we're going to do some watercoloring. So for our watercoloring, we are using the Stampin' Up! Aqua Painter. This is a fantastic paintbrush here with the water already in the tube. We just squeeze it as we go to control the water flow. We're using Melon Mambo, Blushing Bride, Daffodil Delight, and Wisteria Wonder Stampin' Up! Ink pad colors, and the cute little superhero that we stamped back in the first step. Doesn't really matter where you start here. I guess I'm going to start with her face. We're going to squeeze the ink pad while it's closed, and what's going to happen is that's going to create a little pool of ink on the lid. I'm just going to test the wetness of my brush on my scrap paper and then pick up a little bit of that Blushing Bride, test it again, and then paint it out on her face. I want it to be fairly light, very, very subtle. And then just wipe that dry in between colors. Next up, we'll do her hair in the Daffodil Delight. And I'm just gonna layer it in just a couple of places to make it darker in a couple of places. It's a watercolor, so I don't want to color the whole thing. I want a few little highlights and dimension. And then we'll just wipe that off and keep on rolling. So next we've got the Melon Mambo. Painting it on light and then layering it to highlight certain areas. Just realized we need a little Daffodil Delight for her little belt buckle there. And last but not least, some Wisteria Wonder. Isn't she adorable? Just love this. So flippin' cute. When Veronica did her original, she actually just cut out around the image flat, but I'm going to fussy cut her so she pops up. Give it a little bit more dimension. Just going outside the box a little bit. Just got paper snips. I'm just going to go around the edge, leaving a little bit of a border around her image. And she's ready. Okay, back to our stitched shapes dies. I'm taking the second largest circle. There are also squares in this pack. They are on the back side, in case you were wondering. These are fantastic dies, and they are back in stock. Like the watercolor pencils, they were so popular when they first came out. They were just gone, and I am very happy to say they are back in stock, and you can get these again. I've got the Big Shot die cut machine, magnetic platform, one cutting pad down, piece of white scrap paper, our stitch shaped die, and a cutting pad on top, and just crank it through. And when we pop it out, it automatically has the little stitching in it. Isn't that awesome? Such a fantastic accent. It really adds to every project. And now we just have some assembly. So I'm taking some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. These are like little pop dots to pop up our little superhero. And she's gonna go in the center of that circle. I've got a black card base here. Again, dimensions are on my blog. I always layer on the inside with some white so that you can write on it. And then our stamped panel is going to go on the front using some snail adhesive. Then we're going to add this panel using some Stampin' Dimensionals as well for a little pop. And our card is just stinking adorable. Now I've got a little blemish. You may have noticed I got a little green in between the daffodil and the pumpkin pie. And you can use what I call cover up here. This is actually a little chalk marker from Stampin' Up! And if you just dab it lightly It'll just kind of cover that up so you don't notice it. So here's our 2 cards. I will put pictures of both of these versions on my blog post, as well as all the supplies. We used almost all of the bright ink pads today from Stampin' Up, which makes it even super fun because there's almost a whole collection there. Be sure to visit my blog for hundreds more video tutorials and all the details on this card, including a free PDF. And be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter while you're there too, because I send out free card tutorials every Tuesday. Thanks for joining me today.